Hey guys, this is going to be a tutorial on more Junior Barnard. It's definitely hard to go wrong with him. About a month ago, I did a transcription for Deke, who owns the Junior Barnard guitar, on How Could It Be Wrong. And it's a solo I had never transcribed before, but and it's actually a song I kind of listened peripherally before. Reason being is that Bob had quite a few of these rags, kind of these Piedmont style, like Blind Boy Fuller rags that went through. And it did dawn on me that I never played these very well. When I first got into Western swing music, it's definitely a mainstay. But I never really fully understood the form, considering of my background of being a blues guitar player. I knew a little bit about playing rhythm changes, but as far as playing a rag and being able to, understand and navigate the roads of the rag, I was kind of flying by the seat of my pants. And so I thought it'd be kind of a cool idea to do a YouTube tutorial on this. We'll go through the form, and I'll go through the solo that I just played. And profiling Junior Barnard is really awesome because his lines are very ear-catching, and they're also very modular. So you could be able to take lines and be able to plug them into different chords and different forms. The idea that he played over the chord changes is super cool. So let's talk about the form of the song. So it does have a lot of attributes that are like rhythm changes. The thing that kind of throws us off is the counts. So it is a 1-6-2-5, and I'm going to play this in G. So I have one bar of the G6 here, one I like to use. If you're unfamiliar with the chord, buy the Mickey Baker book. But bird on the root, ring on the 5th, pinky on the 3rd, and index on the 6th. So one full bar to the 6th, the E7. Split bar of this, I'm using A7 here, index on the root, bird on the 7. I like putting the ring on the 5th and then pinky on the 3rd. 2, 5, just a D7 with the 5 in the bass, and back to the G. So let's play this, and then we'll talk about the solo as it goes through. So that's part 1, right? So let's do this again. Part 1 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Now here's going to be part 2. Part 2 is going to be pretty much the same thing again, except you're going to have a full bar of the 2 and the full bar of the 5. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So full bar of the 6, full bar of the A, full bar of the D7. So that's what kind of delineates the first section from the second section. And I can't tell you how many times I used to screw this up. It is a basis for a lot of other Western swing songs, where the first time you go around, you're going to have a 2-5-1, and the next time around you're going to have a full bar of the 2 and a full bar of the 5. Also, your 2 chord is going to be dominant. It's not going to be a minor. Let's now talk about the bridge, what I consider the B section. So you have A prime, B, and then back to the A again. So that's the way that I view it. You're going to have a full bar of G. Now to pull us into C, we're going to hit one bar of the G7, one bar of the C, one bar of the C sharp. Well, it's a C7 flat 9. It's just a diminished chord with the bird on that C sharp. But everything else relates to a C7 chord. And then we're going to go back to the 1. play the first one that we did, the A at the very beginning of the song. 6, 2, 5, 1. I definitely urge you to take a look at all of Whit Smith's videos. I think he's, he's a big hero of mine, and I can't tell all of you how much I've learned from him. His studies and his tutorials are I think they're a must if you enjoy swing music, Western swing music, and he does an incredible job of teaching. So he has a lot of exciting ways to be able to play chords differently. This is just a nice bare bones way of looking at it, and it's also a nice bare bones way of looking at where I could plug in my shapes when I play the solo, because I'm using these big block grips to be able to kind of define where I'm going to be in my solo. So if I look at the very beginning of this tune, when I play the solo at the beginning, it's going to be so let me show you how this works across the first 4 bars. I'll play a slow backing track here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the way I'm looking at it, I'll show you the grips first, and I'll show you the licks that I'm using, all derived from Junior. So I'm going to start C grip, like an A grip, like an E grip 7, A grip, E grip. Let me do this again. C grip, A grip, E grip, A grip, E grip. Okay, let's plug in those lines here. So if you're unfamiliar, let me show you some of these cage grips I'm using. C, looks like an open C chord. Really just kind of using that. When I go to this A grip, I'm really focusing, since it's an E7, I'm using this 9th chord grip right here, where I have the index finger in the bass. And then when I go to the E grip here, or something like this, just like a pentatonic, E, A grip, okay, so let's talk about how I'm doing it. This solo has this great intro that I think Junior uses a nice kickoff on a lot of songs, where he kind of rakes. So it looks like I'm playing out of an E structured C, but truth is, it's really out of this G here. I'm bending this raised 9 right here, kind of kissing the major third, or not the major 7. So here we go. So it's, I say I'm bending that raised 9. And I end up right here, and it looks like I am back on the 6 of the C structure. But it kind of falls right at the transition of my E chord, and that gets an E note. So again, I'm pushing up the raised note, the raised 9, kind of kissing that major third, right? I'm going to walk from here to here. I'm still here on the E7. I got the root, 7. Now I'm on the major third of the A. Walk down, which is now the 7 of the D, and then this, and back to a double stop where I'm hitting the 6 and the raised 9. So if I play this slow, transitioning now to my E, my last line. So watch this. Do it again. One more time. And so there's a couple little things I circle here. That quick change at A to D, man, I would use this all the time. Because when you float across some of those chords super fast, it's kind of nice to have some ideas in your back pocket to fall back on. And it's good to fall back on ideas of iconic guitar players like Junior Barnard. Okay, so now let's talk about the second chorus. So this one, I have to put both together because it's easy for me to confuse the A section to the A prime section without having them played in sequence. So put the two together. Okay, so what's going to happen here is just Junior's grease. And I think it's one of the attributes that kind of draws all of us in. So he's got to come up with a... So, I'm sorry. There we go. So weird, but it works. So it goes to the E. It's kind of over the end of the G going into the E. There we go. So in this, let's see. Let's get that where I don't screw it up. So since it seems to be on the precipice of the 6, let's think about what that means for us here. So if that's on there, if we got this, we're playing the major 7 of the E, but we're also playing the raised 5 of the G. So it could be some sort of dominant of the G, like pulling us into the E. Like if I go and then hit some sort of... that dominant might actually do it. Either that or it's just Junior playing something greasy and it just sounds awesome. I'm kind of inclined to go with that one. So if I play this, check her out again. We're going to go... and it's anticipating. I don't think it comes right in on the downbeat. So... and then E, because we're back. Now it looks like I'm in the A here, but the only reason I'm staying here is instead of going, I can go here, and that would give me. But after I play this, it sets me up for that A. To the D, and for the D we're gonna go, because we're gonna be ending on the D and not resolving to the G. So check this out. If I can play right, we'll go through the first one. See how that one worked out right there? So we have, this is actually treated for 2 bars of the one bar of the A to a full bar of the D. So let's put 2 and 2 together so you can see how I played that. So, let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm starting the 1. Okay, now we're going to be on the bridge where we have the infamous double stops. Now, they sound totally uncontrolled and might sound like there's no logic, but they're completely logical. So, typically on these bridges, there'll be a break. I'm playing right through it just to keep continuity of time, but it's not uncommon that you would break 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So let me show you how this works. 1, 2, 3, 4. C major, C diminished, back to the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 2. Okay, so it's got to start on a G to a G7. Use this shape, this G right here, and you're going to go. And it's very staccato and very tight. It's really not anything different from going where you're taking the 6 chord and going to the 9 chord. But you're doing it from a semitone below. So we have the G. And then we're going to go down to the G7, and it's going to be, let's see. Okay, so we have 6, 9, 7. So you want to think about this as your G major. You're going to go. And then, let's see. Very similar to Fat Boy Rag, right? Now it's going to get you through 2 bars. So if I do this, 2, 3, 4. So for those 2 bars, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the C chord, I'm going to be using a G structured C. And what happens is he's going to be using these semitone motions using this grip. So the kickoff is going to be the 5 and the root of C. It's not going to be using the E grip, but the relative grip, or this G grip C. And then to get to the 9, the flat 5, you're going to slide down to. Something like that, right? I'll play it in time, and it'll come back to me. And so then that's going to take care of 4 bars right there. So you're going to have this. And of the last 4 bars are not a whole lot to work with. They sound great, but it's not very hard. So you're going to be playing the G over the E. So you got to get this, and you got to be pivoting to the. And then you're going to hit the A lick that I taught you. And the last will be the major third. Hit that B against the B right there. So, okay, this will be the completed work. I'll redo the rhythm track from beginning to end. Hope you enjoyed this. Please check out my website. And everybody stay safe. And if you haven't picked up those Tiffany recordings, please do so. So here we go. Play the form for you, then I'll play the solo again. 1, 2, 3.